Hi everyone, this is Ben from Clinically Relevant Technologies, and this video is just going to go over some basic features and functionality of our new TherexRx exercise prescription and reference app. So this app is newly released as of summer 2019. The initial release is just for iPad, but iPhone will be coming shortly as soon as we get that through development. We're very close on that, but we're very excited about the app. We think that it really has come out the way that we wanted it, with a lot of research and evidence incorporated into the app, and we hope that you like it too. So let's just go over some basic features here, and this is the page that you'll see when you open the app. This is the skeleton. You can choose different regions just by clicking on them. You'll see that you're offered a choice between exercises and conditions. If you just go to the next piece here, you'll see exercises listed by either body region, which you can see along the right hand side we can scroll through, or you can see the exercises all listed alphabetical, so pretty intuitive there. Conditions, every region will have some diagnoses with evidence summaries and suggested patient education, information references. I'll go over that shortly some other time. Packages, these are groups of exercise that can be curated or custom, meaning groups of exercises for a particular diagnosis, or if you have favorite exercises that you want to group for patients, you can do so here. The curated packages are exercises that are developed or put together by the developers, myself included, where we review the evidence and we look for maybe some best evidence approaches for prescribing exercises. The prescription pad is where all of your content is going to be before you send it out to a patient. Favorites is self-explanatory, and the About page, a little bit more about the app. So let's go through as if we were going to prescribe an exercise for a patient with shoulder pain, let's say subacromial impingement syndrome, or subacromial pain syndrome as some people call it now. So we would just go to shoulder here, we would choose exercises, presuming we already examined and have come to a diagnosis with our patient. Now we want to, we've shown them some exercises, and now we want to prescribe these. Let's just say, for example, that we wanted to give them eccentric scaption and standing. So just to orient you here, this is, if you look at the bottom of the page, this is the image that the patient will see that'll be on their handout. This is a video over here on the right that the patient will have access to, that they can access from home. And if I push play here, you'll see the video will start playing. This is just so you can get a little preview of what your patient will see. The purpose of this exercise is to improve the strength and endurance. And I'll turn that off. You can make that full screen if you like. You can see over here on the right now, moving up, studies using this exercise. If you want to review that, if I click on this, I'll see a abstract from PubMed pop up there. And these are just the next one. If I come up here, consider using this exercises for the following conditions. I can add this to a package, which I mentioned earlier, or I can prescribe it. To prescribe it, I'll need to first add dosing, right? So let's say for repetitions, I can press this radio button over here, this plus button. Let's say I want to have 12 repetitions for 3 sets, and let's say I want to do this times per week. How about 4 times per week? If I look at a study-based dosage, see here it says view a study-based dosage. This was from Bateman 2014. They did this 3 sets of 15 twice a day using yellow TheraBand. Maybe I would use that to inform my exercise prescription. If I wanted to put some notes in, I would say, maybe we talked about this during our visit, maybe I'd just say only minor pain with this. Now I want to add it to the prescription. I just hit this green button here, add to prescription. So that's added to the prescription now. I see this little green badge there when I'm back to my exercise list, and that tells me that that's the case to ensure that. Let's say I wanted to then do some, how about protraction in the push-up position. Same thing, I'll just go to here, add dosage and notes. If I want to just, instead of using the radio buttons, if I want to just input these, I could do so here. 3 sets, and how about once a day? No notes this time. Add a prescription. Let's say I do one more. How about, wall slides, more for the periscapular exercises. Again, we have our picture, we have our video if we wanted to view that. Add some dosing and notes for this. Repetitions, 12 repetitions. Let's do 3 sets. Let's do this once a day. And I don't want any pain during this exercise. Good. And I can add this to the prescription. The only thing that you have to do to add the prescription is you have to have dosage in there, or else it won't let you add it to the prescription. Now I go to my prescription pad. Let's see, I've got these things, but maybe I want to add a patient education handout as well. That might be good. So if I go to conditions over here, let's go up to shoulder. And then here I have subacromial pain syndrome. And just to orient you to this is a nice evidence summary reviewing the current literature and the state of the literature for prescribing exercise for this condition. This patient education summary, these are just maybe some bullet points that you might want to share with a patient with subacromial pain syndrome. And then some references if you're interested in doing more research. You can look at some of the more prominent studies for exercise for SAPS or subacromial impingement. If I go to educational handout, this is kind of the information that will be provided in the handout. If I want an image of what the actual handout looks like, I can just hit view handout. This will be the PDF that will be loaded and sent to the patient when you prescribe it. So it has just some nice graphics, some pictures, some general advice on things they can do to help their condition. So I want to prescribe this. I'm going to hit add to prescription. It's grayed out, so I know it's added. Now I go back to my prescription pad here, and I can look at everything. I've got those 3 exercises I prescribed. I've got my educational handout. And now, before I send it, maybe I just want to give some general notes for the patient. Maybe we talked about something during their visit that I want them to remember. This will go in the top of the email that's sent to them. Maybe I would just say, remember to perform exercises early in the day. Obviously you can say anything that you want there depending on what you discuss with your patient. Now I have an option to say, I could save this as a package if this was like a common grouping of exercises that I used a lot for patients, or if I'm just ready to share it with a patient, I can just share with the patient. And now this will come up. If I've emailed patients previously, their contacts will be saved here, but let's say that I haven't added any patients yet and I want to add this patient. Very quickly I can just do that and then add in their email address here. I'll just add in our email address. That's that. I hit add patient, and I should get there's the message telling me that my email is sent. And that's it. So there's a lot more to the app. There's a lot more as far as reference packages, how we've incorporated research into the app, but that should get you started on just the basics of sharing exercises and content with one of your patients. Now that email is from a no reply email address, so the patients aren't going to get your personal email address, so you don't have to worry about that. It'll come from no reply at clinicallyrelevant.com. So please, you can leave comments or questions down in the comments of this video, and you can also contact at info@clinicallyrelevant.com, and we're open to your suggestions. And if you have ideas for content to put in the app, we're all ears. Thanks a lot for viewing this, and we hope you enjoy the app.